It was an unprovoked attack that almost cost Chang his finger. Walking through a Melbourne park, he was set upon by teenagers. He says they called him racist names, cut his arm, and all but severed his left hand's little finger.
I'm left-handed and my biggest concern is that I make a full recovery. I'm worried I may not be able to do my job.
Compounding the attack was what Chang felt was a poor police response. The Korean consulate had to make a formal request for a thorough investigation to eliminate perceptions of unfairness and inadequacy. Since September, there have been at least 5 other attacks on Koreans in Australia. One, a man attacked last week, is in this Sydney hospital in a medically induced coma. In Seoul, the Korean media see a pattern of deliberately targeted attacks. Newspapers are full of stories of racist Australia, and people in the streets are concerned.
My friend in Australia tells me there is some racial discrimination. I'm worried as I am a woman. I feel hesitant to go there. I want to study or work in a safe place.
In Australia, it's all led to crisis talks. These Korean Australians don't think most of the attacks were racially motivated, but they fear the perception that they were could hit their businesses the hardest.
All of a sudden, Australia became one of the most strong racist countries in the world, and that sort of reaction is totally nonsense.
The students, they don't want to come to here. Then the Korean markets in here is getting down.
There is a precedent. 3 years ago, a string of attacks on Indian students in Australia led to widespread media coverage in India.
It was 3 Indians versus 80 Australians.
Frantic diplomacy wasn't enough to stop student applications to Australia dropping by half. Korean Australians and the police insist that in most cases the recent attacks were random. Koreans simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. But even the perception of racism is dangerous and threatens to undermine a trading relationship that is Australia's 4th biggest. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Sydney.